Most men don't realize this, but the same woman who once rolled her eyes at, you ignored your efforts and acted like you were replaceable, will eventually find herself missing you the moment you stop chasing. It's not because she suddenly became a better person overnight. It's because of how female psychology works. When she realizes the man she took for granted is no longer available on her terms. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Women, don't start missing men who bend over backwards for them. They miss the man who finally stops tolerating disrespect. They miss the version of you that learned how to walk away, focus on himself, and show without saying a word that he doesn't need her validation to survive. Think about it. When you were always available, she had no reason to value your presence. But the second you pull away, the same silence that once made her feel powerful suddenly feels like a void. That's when her mind starts replaying old memories, questioning her choices, and wondering if she underestimated you. So in this video from Dark Facts 2.0, we're breaking down the exact stages of when and how women begin to miss the man they once overlooked. Your effort 1. She took your effort for granted. One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is thinking that constant effort will automatically make a woman appreciate them. In reality, when you give too much without balance, it creates the opposite effect. She begins to see your effort as ordinary, even expected. What once felt special to her becomes background noise. Think about it in this way. If you're always the one planning dates, sending long messages, solving her problems, and making yourself available 24/7, you're training her to believe your attention will never run out. Instead of valuing it, she starts assuming it's guaranteed. The truth is, people rarely treasure what they believe they can't lose. Over time, she stops noticing the energy you put in. She might roll her eyes when you compliment her, dismiss your gestures, or act like your presence is just normal. What's really happening is that your effort has lost its edge. It no longer stands out. Imagine a man who always drives across town to see his girlfriend, even when she never makes the same effort. At first, she's grateful, but months later, she doesn't even say thank you anymore. When he finally stops making those long drives, she suddenly notices the silence. She wonders why he isn't showing up like before. That's when it hits her. She was taking his effort for granted, and now she misses it. This is a critical point many men fail to recognize because they confuse effort with value and don't realize that genuine respect and attraction stem from mutual investment, not just relentless giving. Understanding this will transform how you approach relationships and empower you to create healthier dynamics where your worth is truly seen. Silence is not emptiness. 2. Silence is not emptiness. When things start going wrong in a relationship, most men make the mistake of talking too much. They explain, they argue, they plead. The problem: the more you beg for understanding, the less impact your words have. She tunes you out because she knows you're still trying to win her approval. Silence, on the other hand, is powerful. When you stop explaining yourself and simply pull back, it creates an uncomfortable space that forces her to think. She starts to wonder, why isn't he saying anything? Why isn't he chasing me like before? That quiet shift makes her realize that your attention was never guaranteed. It was a choice. Begging communicates weakness. Silence communicates strength. It shows that you've stopped playing the same game, and instead of chasing, you're moving with dignity. Women feel that difference more deeply than any speech you could ever give. Take a man who constantly argues with his girlfriend whenever she threatens to leave. He writes long texts, calls her repeatedly, and keeps explaining why she should stay. She ignores him because she knows he'll always try again. But one day, he stops replying. He doesn't argue, doesn't explain. He just lets her words hang in the air. For the first time, she feels uneasy. She begins checking her phone, replaying what she said and questioning whether she went too far. His silence made her miss the attention she once dismissed. The lesson here is simple. Silence is not emptiness. It's a powerful message that says, I respect myself enough not to beg. That's when she starts missing what she thought she could take for granted. At Dark Facts 2.0. We emphasize that this kind of silent strength is not about playing games, but about reclaiming your power and self-worth so you don't get trapped in unhealthy cycles of chasing approval. Instead, you become someone whose presence is earned and respected. Scarcity creates value. 3. Scarcity creates value. One of the most overlooked truths in relationships is that people value what they can't always have. When you're constantly available, always texting, back immediately, always saying yes to plans, always putting her needs above your own, your presence starts to feel ordinary. It stops being special because she assumes you'll always be there. Think about the people in your own life, the ones you chase too much. You probably stop appreciating them over time. But the person who isn't always around, whose attention you have to work a little for, suddenly feels more exciting. That same rule applies to women. Scarcity creates desire when your attention, energy, and time aren't endless. She starts noticing your value in ways she didn't before. It's not about being distant or cold. It's about maintaining boundaries and prioritizing yourself. When you're busy building your life, focusing on your goals and not constantly available, for her, she begins to feel your absence. That absence makes her mind replay all the moments she took for granted. The laughs, the support, the little gestures she ignored. The irony is simple. The harder you are to get, the more she wants you. It's human nature. When something is abundant, it feels replaceable. When it's scarce, it feels precious by being selective with your time and energy. You automatically make her reassess her actions, her appreciation, and her desire for you. Understanding this principle is a game changer. Scarcity isn't manipulation, it's self-respect. And self-respect is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can have. Once she feels the value of your presence slipping away, that's when she truly starts missing what she once overlooked. At Dark Facts 2.0. We often discuss how scarcity balanced with genuine connection builds authentic desire, and how setting firm boundaries isn't just about protecting yourself, but about cultivating a relationship where both partners truly cherish each other. Her wake-up call. 4. Jealousy is her wake-up call. Most men don't realize it, but jealousy isn't just about her being possessive. It's a signal that she's finally noticing what she's been missing. The problem is too many men make it easy for women to take them for granted. They stay available, agreeable, and predictable. They don't have their own lives, their own boundaries, or their own standards. And because of that, they rarely trigger any strong emotion in her. Here's the hard truth: if she's never jealous, she's never afraid of losing you. That fear is what makes her wake up. When she sees that your attention isn't guaranteed, when she notices other women showing interest, or simply that you're no longer bending over backwards, her mind starts racing. That's when jealousy kicks in, and with it, the realization that she undervalued you. Men, this is your wake-up call. Stop being so easy to keep around. Stop over-explaining, over-pleasing, and over-sacrificing. Build your life, your confidence, and your boundaries. Women are attracted to men who have standards, who can walk away without drama, and who don't need constant validation. When you start living this way, jealousy naturally appears, and it's a sign that she's starting to respect and miss you. The fact is that jealousy isn't something to be provoked artificially. It emerges naturally when you stop tolerating disrespect. It's her brain finally recognizing your worth. If you've been too accommodating, take this as a signal to wake up. The moment you prioritize yourself, she begins to notice. And that's the exact moment she starts missing the man she thought she could take for granted. Dark Facts 2.0 encourages you to understand jealousy not as a tool to manipulate, but as an honest emotional signal that your value is being acknowledged. Once you claim your self-worth, jealousy is a byproduct of genuine respect and attraction. She misses growth. 5. She misses growth, not weakness. One of the biggest mistakes men make is thinking that simply being there, available and agreeable, will keep a woman's attention. The truth is, she doesn't miss the man who begs, compromises endlessly, or sacrifices himself just to please her. She misses the man who grows, improves, and refuses to settle for being undervalued. Women are wired to notice strength, confidence, and self-respect. When you stop tolerating disrespect, focus on your goals and invest in yourself, she begins to feel the absence of the man she once underestimated. It's not about playing games. It's about evolving into a version of yourself that can't be taken for granted. Many men fail here because they confuse effort with value. Sending texts, buying gifts, or constantly agreeing to plans doesn't make her respect you. It makes your presence predictable and ordinary. Growth, on the other hand, creates scarcity and admiration naturally. When you're growing, your life becomes fuller, your energy more magnetic, and suddenly she realizes that the man she ignored is now someone she can't stop thinking about. The lesson is simple. Stop being a man defined by her as approval. Focus on becoming stronger, wiser, and more independent. That's the version she'll miss, not the one who tolerated being undervalued. The moment you commit to growth, her perception shifts. She starts to replay old memories, recognize what she lost, and feel that undeniable pull toward the man she once overlooked. Dark Facts 2. 0 teaches that true attraction is rooted in growth and self-mastery, not in desperation or complacency. Your evolution challenges her to see you in a new light and creates an emotional gravity that is impossible to ignore. Outro. So here's the truth. Most women don't start missing a man until he stops being the man she can control. The same gestures, attention, and energy she once dismissed suddenly become precious when she realizes they're no longer guaranteed. That's why so many men stay stuck chasing women who already took them for granted because they fail to understand that absence, boundaries, and self-respect are what create real desire. Now I want to hear from you. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever been that man she ignored only to have her come back when you pulled away? Comment below on Dark Facts 2. 0 and share your story. I'll personally read them, and in some cases, I'll even reach out to connect with you directly. This isn't just theory. This is real-life psychology, and I want you to see how it applies to your life. And here's the thing missing. Alone isn't enough. There's a hidden step that most men never see coming, and it completely changes the dynamic when she realizes your worth. In the next video on Dark Facts 2, 0, we're diving deep into how to make her truly regret taking you for granted and never want to let you go again. As always, click on that subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so you would be the first to know when it's out. I'll see you then.